So the day before the Nintendo Direct mini partner showcase in June, I was scrolling through this sketchy website that housed a bunch of ROMs and old PC games. I found the link from a random TikTok. I went on there and I decided to search up all the like elusive games that were on the top of my mind that I always just wanted to try or just download and just check out, you know what I mean? So games I considered elusive are those games that you always wanted to play growing up, but for some reason you couldn't. Either you couldn't get your hands on it, or there was some like weird, you know, maybe it was like not localized or something, but you just want to play these games, but like for some reason you can't. For me, I never had a PC that was powerful enough, and when I was a kid growing up, we all had to share the same PC. And that thing wasn't even powerful enough. I mean, it couldn't even run the demo for Sonic Heroes on the lowest settings. And yeah, that's what I did with it. You know. But that was back in the early 2000s. So PC games were something I can never really play. And I didn't have money to get a better PC. And I was also a diehard Nintendo fan when I was growing up in the 2000s. So I only really had Nintendo consoles. And I only wanted to play those games. So I only had a Nintendo console, and I only wanted to play the games that you can get on a Nintendo console. I just didn't care about the shooty bang bangs and the vroom vroom skirts, you know? But yeah, so many exclusive games were out of my reach. I couldn't play a lot of things. The GameCube didn't really have good third-party support. The Wii U had worse third-party support. I couldn't even play a lot of these games. So many exclusive games were out of my reach. But now that the Switch is getting some awesome ports of games that were once locked to other consoles, I'm excited and I'm super stoked to be playing these games. Games like Spyro, games like Crash, games like Banjo-Kazooie.
Dude, stop talking about Banjo-Kazooie.
Listen, there's a chance, okay? One of these days. I have a list of these games I've always wanted to play, but I can save that like idea for another video, or I can, you know, say it out loud in this video so a more established YouTuber can listen to this video and then steal that idea and then profit off that without having to give me shit. So, yeah. So the game we're talking about today is Pac-Man World Repack. It was announced at the Nintendo Direct, and Namco's making it happen. They're doing a bunch of new stuff. They flipped a bunch of things. They flipped a bunch of tables. They gave Pac-Man a super power-up. They made it shiny and fancy and great in every way. Oh my god. The original Pac-Man World for the PlayStation was literally the only game I wanted to play on the PlayStation. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that out loud. That was the only game out of the entire library of the PS1. But yeah, that was the only game I wanted as a kid from the PlayStation. Story time. So my very first interaction with video games, fun fact, was my grandmother's restaurant in downtown Hamilton. I grew up there. A lot of my little cousins grew up there. A lot of my aunts and uncles had their first job there. And in the corner of the restaurant was this Miss Pac-Man and Galaga cocktail arcade cabinet. Good luck finding one of those, any sugar mom was watching. So that was like a 90s thing. It was very, very fun time, and I'm very blessed that like my very first game was like, well, console wise it was Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country 2, which were the two best games to have as your first games. But like my first actual like straight up introduction was this Miss Pac-Man. That was the first time I was like, whoa, this is a thing on a screen with beepy bloops and stuff. So that I'm always been thankful for that. So I was really excited to see Pac-Man in 3D finally as a kid. In 1999, I was like 8 years old. So, but I never had a PlayStation. And I wouldn't consider one because I'm only a Nintendo person. I only play Nintendo games. I'm a Nintendo fanboy forever. To combat that, because I really wanted to play Pac-Man World, I would figure out creative ways to play this game. This memory actually came back to me when I saw the game, because I totally forgot that I did this. But yeah, I figured out ways to play this game as a kid without owning a PlayStation. Well, the main way I would do that is I bought a PlayStation 1 memory card. I would go over to my friend's house who had a PlayStation, and I would play their game with my memory card. And as you can tell, like, people didn't really want to invite me out, so I never really like finished, like, I never really got past the first world. But that's one thing I would do. I would show up and be like, hey, can I play Pac-Man World? I think I owned the game at one point, or like I owned a copy of it, and then I would bring that copy to people's houses, but then I think I eventually sold it. But yeah, like, that's one thing I would do. I literally bought a memory card, and for like my entire gaming childhood, I had one PlayStation 1 memory card, and I think I sold it to like a game store or something. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, man, that's what I did. So you can say I'm very excited to play this game. I jumped on a pre-order right away, and I set the date in my calendar for when it's coming out because I'm a huge loser and I share information like this on the internet to ensure that I die alone. I had a cousin who was a lot older than me, and he would invite my parents over to visit. He also had a pool, but one thing that he had was a PlayStation and Pac-Man World. And I've also played so many other games on his PlayStation, like Dino Park and stuff like those random games I would play at my cousin's place when I was really young. So I have memories of going over there and playing, you know, Pac-Man World and like all these other things. I love that my memory of Pac-Man World is trying to play it, is me as a kid trying to figure out how I'm gonna play this game. So I'm really looking forward to this game. It looks great. I thought this would be a funny idea for a YouTube video. If I sound different, it's because I actually wrote a script this time, because I'm listening to my videos and I'm like, wow, I sound like I have no direction. And I've had some friends actually be really straight up with me. They tell me that I need to work on it. So here we go. I'm gonna try and make these videos better. I apologize if you've clicked off an old one or if you've clicked off this one. I hope you haven't clicked off this one. I mean, technically, if you're listening to this, you haven't clicked off it yet. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Yeah, why don't you guys like give me a like, hit that subscribe button, do all the YouTuber things, and hopefully everyone buys this game and then they end up remaking Pac-Man 2 and 3 and maybe changing the voice actor for Pac-Man 3 to like Bill Burr or something. That would be cool. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now. Okay, bye.